There is a book older than empire, older than rumor, older even than the borders drawn on dusty maps. It rests in the highlands of Ethiopia, bound in leather the color of midnight, inked in the ancient tongue of Ge'ez. For centuries, its pages whispered in candle-lit monasteries while the outside world slept. Inside are verses that redraw humanity's origin story, chapters where angels stride beside queens, and prophecies that refuse to bow to any throne. Why did conquerors fear these words? What hidden pulse echoes beneath the parchment? Tonight, we lift the veil on the Ethiopian Bible, the scripture some called forbidden, the scripture that would not be silenced. Imagine growing up believing the universe was a neat mosaic, until one scroll reveals missing tiles. Western canon holds 66 books. Ethiopia preserves 88. Among them, Enoch walks with luminous beings, Jubilees charts celestial calendars, and a lineage from Solomon to Menelik crowns Ethiopia with divine right. Yet colonial missionaries branded these texts dangerous, unfit for salvation. Mini story. In 1520, a young monk named Tesfa dreamt a lion of Judah roaring over a sealed library. He awoke, hurried to the crypt, and found Italian mercenaries prying at the door. Legend says the roar became thunder, scattering the intruders. The library and its secrets survived. 3 centuries later, European flags pierced Africa like iron spears. To rule bodies, colonizers first sought to rule memory. Missionaries replaced Ge'ez liturgy with Latin hymns, insisting salvation came only through their trimmed-down Bible. But Ethiopia's priests countered, "Our parchment holds our pulse." Each banned chapter became a rallying drumbeat, reminding villagers that their ancestors spoke to angels in their own tongue. Can a culture be conquered if its story refuses to surrender? Clouds gather over Adwa's peaks. Emperor Menelik prays with the ark-like tablet before leading farmers, priests and poets against Italy's modern army. Muskets thunder, yet Ethiopia prevails, the lone African victory of the scramble. Soldiers later claim they saw winged figures guarding their flanks, pages of Enoch swirling like banners in the wind. Whether vision or metaphor, the message rang clear. Erase our scripture, and you erase our soul, but our soul wields mountains. Why strike Enoch from the Western canon? Perhaps because Enoch names watchers who tamper with early humanity, hinting at cosmic genealogy beyond earthly kings. Why silence Jubilees? It recalibrates sacred timelines, suggesting humanity's story is vaster than Sunday sermons admit. When institutions define truth, curiosity becomes rebellion. What if those missing books unlock dormant faculties? Inness, memory of stardust origins, echoes of civilizations predating flood and pyramid alike. Folklore speaks of a night when Abba Georgis, a 15th century scholar saint, meditated inside Lalibella's rock-hewn church. He witnessed angels debating demons over humanity's fate. Demons argued for ignorance, angels answered with light. At dawn, Georgis inscribed their dialogue into a slim codex, now hidden in a mountain cave. Some say that codex explains why every soul carries both shadow and sunrise, and why censorship of sacred knowledge always fails. The light keeps rewriting itself. Fast forward to the 20th century. Hypnotist researcher Dolores Cannon records clients who insist they volunteered from distant star systems after World War II, drawn by Earth's distress signal. Their testimonies mirror Ethiopian. Prophecies of luminous beings descending to guide humanity through epochs of darkness. Could banned scriptures and modern regressions be different verses of the same cosmic poem? If so, each seeker becomes a line in that poem, tasked with remembering why they chose to arrive now. Cannon once interviewed Sarah, who recalled standing before an emerald council that displayed multiple Earth timelines. She chose the path, where forbidden texts survived, believing their rediscovery would spark a leap in collective awareness. Sarah had never heard of the Ethiopian Bible until she later dreamt of Ger's characters aflame across the sky. She woke fluent in phrases she'd never studied. Scholars confirmed the syntax matched 4th century hymns, coincidence or memory resurfacing. Today, satellite links and digital archives pierce former walls of secrecy. High-resolution scans of Ethiopian manuscripts travel the globe in seconds, inviting anyone to taste words once locked behind monastery doors. Yet with access comes responsibility. Will we honor these pages as living elders or reduce them to trivia? The choice shapes not only scholarship, but identity. After all, a story read only for novelty cannot empower. A story inhaled as breath can resurrect nations. Fishermen tell of a scroll sealed in beeswax, floating ashore every century on Lake Tana's misty dawn. The last appearance was 1901. Elders say the wax cracked open to reveal a prophecy of voices across water and wire. Radio arrived a decade later. Locals now await its return, believing the next unveiling will coincide with a worldwide awakening triggered by rediscovered scriptures. Perhaps your very listening stirs the lake. When European councils canonized 66 books, they did more than edit theology. They edited imagination. By trimming stories of cosmic ancestry and divine feminine wisdom, they narrowed the lens through which billions view existence. Ethiopia's unedited canon stands as counter-evidence, a reminder that spiritual maps are plural. What other cartographies lie ignored in desert caves or mountain crypts? And what happens when the masses start charting their own routes? In 1974, during political upheaval, a librarian named Selam smuggled microfilm copies of rare Ge'ez texts in hollowed prayer sticks. Crossing checkpoints, she posed as a pilgrim. Decades later, those reels enabled scholars to verify connections between Ethiopian, Coptic, and Dead Sea Scroll traditions. Selam vanished into obscurity, yet every citation of her films revives. Her courage, proof that one quiet guardian can outwit empires. The Ethiopian Bible insists humanity's saga is braided across continents long before modern trade routes. Solomon's bloodline flows into African highlands. Enoch's visions echo in Andean sky temples. Jubilee's cosmic calendar matches Mayan backtoons. Suddenly, borders dissolve. If scripture is a mirror, perhaps we are meant to see every face in it. What parts of your lineage have been footnoted or erased? Are you ready to reclaim them? A mystic in Gondar recounts meditating beside an illuminated manuscript until the ink lifted off the page, swirling into a spiral galaxy. Within that light, he saw billions of souls choosing birthplaces like stars, choosing coordinates. Some landed in palaces, others in refugee camps, all to keep the cosmic narrative alive. He returned with a single instruction: guard every story, for each is a star guiding the next traveler home. If these revelations ignite your curiosity, remember, algorithms favor engagement, but truth favors courage. By clicking Super Thanks, you help this channel unearth more suppressed wisdom and fund the digital preservation of endangered manuscripts. Your gesture becomes a torch in the archive's dark corridors, illuminating pages that once faced oblivion. A remote village, a child named Hana studies by moonlight. Her textbook, a centuries-old parchment rescued from fire. Each night she copies one verse onto fresh paper, ensuring the line survives another generation. Scholars may debate canonicity, but Hana's ink declares survival is the highest form of authorship. The Ethiopian Bible endured censorship, invasion, and time itself because people like Tesfa, Selam, and Hana chose preservation over silence. Now the scroll passes to you. Will you let the pages gather dust, or will you breathe their words into conversation, art, and action? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. Join our community by subscribing to this channel. Until the next video.